I want to talk about problems, solving problems. And it's an awkward conversation when you talk about problems because we're talking about fears and we're talking about our shortcomings many times because a lot of problems show up because of our shortcomings. Many times we create them, and many times we don't. Problems just show up and they are what they are. So I've had my fair share in life, but I've always been very sort of innocent and optimistic, even though I did a lot of badassery stuff. I don't know, I was kind of like unconscious, just pushing through, and eventually figured out, a lot of that stuff wasn't very good. But anyways, here's a few thoughts I have on problems. And I think every problem has within it the seed of equal or greater opportunity. And I think that's a pretty valuable attitude to take. And that's not mine. I didn't come up with that. That's from Napoleon Hill. Each and every adversity has within it the seeds of equal or greater opportunity. That's worth repeating. So I read that when I was like 20 years old, and it always stuck out with me. And I think at some level I embedded it into my genetic code because I've used it quite a bit. And it's not always easy though, you know. So here's the thing, you got a problem. In my previous video, I talked about, avoiding what ifs or what about this, or, having a negative mindset versus having a positive mindset. So going into a problem, it's important to have a positive mindset. So don't whine, blame, or complain. I've said that before, I'll just remind you again. Don't blame, complain, don't play victim. So I think the core thing is, if you have a problem, get creative. Start writing out all the things you could do, because sometimes, or many times, or all the time, the solution that you'll find if you go looking for it will make you a better person, versus saying, I got a problem here, I want to avoid the pain, and that's all that matters. If all you're trying to do is avoid the pain, you're fearful, then you're going to do what's safe, and you may not be happy in the end. You might be safe, you might be less fearful, but it's an illusion. So the point I'm getting at is, if you push through to that level, if you explore the different options, you might find an avenue, you might find an opportunity that'll open up to you, that'll expand into a whole new area that'll be like, wow, I never saw that one. I think of the person who became a lawyer because their parents expected them to become a lawyer. There's nothing wrong with lawyers. Well, yeah, no, there's nothing wrong. But in this one specific example, this person wanted to get into the arts, and they were miserable. So they eventually broke away from that pressure and discovered their own true adventure. So it's we all got to become our own heroes, so to speak, when we're solving problems. So find the solution that makes you better. Use creativity. Get a notepad. Look at two things. One, what can I do with all the things I have available to me right now? Okay, because you've got something available to you. Maybe you need money, but you don't have any money. So, well, there's something else you can use or start with. You can educate yourself or explore different ideas. The important thing is to get creative and to make a list of all the things you can do with what you have right here, right now, in your current position, and explore different options of items and or directions that you can go into. What are things we can look into, no matter what the problem is? It's a creative act, really, versus this kowtowing and sticking our heads in the sand. So, and when you do that, and you get acting on and using whatever you have available to you, it'll open up the doors to those wonderful gifts that eventually show up. The ones I mentioned earlier, the opportunities. Each and every adversity has within it the seeds of equal or greater opportunity. Worth remembering. And remember, never blame, never complain, never play victim. All right, it's my thought for the day.